Enjoy 1% merchant commission when you accept Lanka Pay cards. Contact these banks today.
Well, it started back in 2021. So I was 23, and at that time I, decided that once I was done with my law degree and pursuing a career in human rights, I thought, I should also do something much more bigger than this. Then, I participated for the municipal council elections in Milan, and I was the youngest candidate. I was 23, and I represented all the immigrants in Milano, Latin Americans, Muslims, Asians. So in that time when I campaigned for this particular election, I did see the issues that the migrants were facing, especially the Sri Lankan community. There are about 30,000 Sri Lankans living in the Lombardy region. 20,000 happen to be in Milano. So most of them do low-income jobs, and there's a lot of discrimination. They do not know much about the legal system in the country. They do not know the language properly. These people face a lot of, problems. A very important fact is that Sri Lankans are the least integrated community in Italy. They migrated in the early 70s, and then in the 90s and 2000s there was a boom. But yet, many of them, previous generation, they still end up doing low-income jobs. And my generation, they are quite progressive. Many have migrated to other European countries, but political participation is very, very low. I founded a non-profit organization called Passionate Hand, registered under the Italian government. So my idea was to restore the light where there's darkness. And many authorities and many organizations and even many, decision-making bodies, individuals are only working for their own interest. Passionate Hand was actually created due to that. We have come fast forward many years, many centuries, and 20th century was a century where there was a complete change, revolution in the world. 2 world wars, the Cold War came, the fall of the Soviet Union, and then there came the establishment of the United Nations, the European Union, right? And these organizations were established to bring prosperity, peace to the world. Now we should ask ourselves, have we done justice? Are the world leaders doing enough? I don't think so. I think if my generation, they don't take action, I don't think we'll be heading towards a very profound future. I can very clearly say that we will be heading towards a third world war. It's it's something which is very vividly seen. So we will be heading towards that if we don't take action right now. So this is very important. So how to take action? Citizens of a country should be aware about everything that is happening around them and be vocal. Very important. Countries like Sri Lanka, the youth is not much interested in politics. The political participation is very low with respect to European countries. Now, right now, I came to Sri Lanka after 5 years. This is very important, and I should be saying this. When I went back in 2019 to Europe, the country was flourishing. There was great development in the country. After 5 years, when I came back, when I went to various states in the country, I feel that Sri Lanka is very stagnant. It's a very stagnant state. It's not moving. I see it as, like a slow motion picture. We know what happened in the past few years with the COVID outbreak and everything. So basically, I feel the country, it has a lot to do in terms of its relationships with other nations. It has very poor relationships with Italy specifically, and its diplomats are also, Sri Lankan diplomats are not doing their work. Sri Lanka needs good relationships with other nations, developed nations. The country needs investment. So the world stage should know Sri Lanka for that. The country should have reforms in various laws. There are many areas where the country needs to improve in. Every sector needs improvement. And because I see the country, from the lens of a European, and also not only that, but also as a woman who stayed in this country and who had an education here. And I see now that the country is completely stagnant. and so a lot of reform is needed, and a lot of laws has to be changed in the country.